What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Nick Scarpino, alongside the second best. Now, you know what, Tim? We're gonna call you the first best, Baby Blues.
Thank you. I'm
Because
feeling
you're
good
back.
about that today.
You weren't there.
Feeling
You weren't here with us when we talked to Jack Quaid this week. We met the lack of your presence was felt, but we had a really good time. That was a weird one. That was one where did you hear what happened there?
No. I want to hear though.
We'll get to that in 1 second. Of course, my other co-host today, rounding out the trio, is the Hispanic heartthrob, Texas Street Latino Heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds, the Globetrotting headshot nitro rifle from Twitch.tv, Andy Cortez.
Got some water on deck. I got some extra toasted Cheez-Its on deck as well, everybody. It's a celebration.
It is a celebration. I love the vibe of the show when it's the three of us, just because it really does feel like the parents aren't here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, we gotta keep everything going and make sure that like the cat's fed or whatever. But like
I have
besides
a
that,
quarter of a spring roll here. Look at this.
Oh, you're living wild
life,
today,
bro.
Nick. And I appreciate that.
Eating carbohydrates today.
I'm so bummed that I missed the episode with Jack Quaid. I wanted to be a part of that so bad, but
He gave us so many industry secrets.
I want to hear all of them. I'm going to listen to the episode because
He
didn't give us any. We were trying to get him out. We were trying to get the plot of season 3 of The Boys, whichever one it is, that they're filming, and he was very politely declined all of my advances in that regard. But he was very, very fun. But he was like, I have 37 minutes. And we're like, why 37 minutes? And it's because he didn't have a charger for his computer. It was running out of batteries. So we're like, at any given second, he might be gone. And some surprises happen middle of the episode. So definitely check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we do this podcast each and every week here on youtube.com/kindoffunny. And it's largely with the help of all of you out there who are watching. And some of you even go over to patreon.com/kindoffunny and back us at the Patreon producer tier. And we love you very much, like Joshua Schroeder, Delaney Twinning, Julian the Gluten-Free Gamer, and Steve Powers. You guys are super awesome. Of course, we talked about the podcast we did with Jack Quaid, but we also got one upcoming next week with Justin Roiland, which you cannot miss, Tim. That's going to be a really good one.
Yeah, that's insane.
So make sure
ridiculous.
Make sure our guests have been just freaking
insane.
Bonkers, man.
Yes,
I didn't even know that was going to be a thing until I saw it on the calendar.
Me too. And I was like, at first I was like, oh, maybe there's just another guy named Justin Roiland that's like in games media that we're having on. And then I'm like, no, I think he's the only one. It's legit. The Justin Roiland. So that's going to be really awesome. Cool. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this episode of the Kind of Funny podcast is brought to you by twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, where every day from 11 o'clock to roughly 2 to 2:30ish, we play games hosted by Snowbike Mike. Andy's on there sometimes. Tim's on there sometimes. I'm on there sometimes. Definitely come check us out live. If you can't, of course, you can go over to youtube.com/kindoffunnyplays and check out those after they're recorded. Tim, you said you had something you wanted to kick Kevin's here as well, by the way. Kevin, say hi to everyone. Kevin?
He's talked so much recently. His voice is not feeling great right now. I'm his representative.
I was blowing my nose. I'm sorry.
He's blowing his nose.
Sounds like he ran back. I love it. God.
I'm sorry, Tim, I interrupted you. You had something that you wanted to bring up first and foremost.
No, it's all good. Yeah, well, I want to bring that up, but real quick, I just want to say that the reason I missed the Jack Quaid episode was because I had gotten my second COVID shot.
Woo!
And I'm so happy about this. 2 weeks away from being good. Very, very fucking excited to be back in the real world. But man, everyone said about it hitting you hard. It hit me so hard, where I was just laid out for a day. But the good news is, woke up this morning and I'm totally fine. So just a little public service announcement that me, Cool Greg, and Gia all got it. The two of them, totally fine. Didn't have any side effects.
No
it was
way.
all good. Oh yeah.
Do you think it's because they're using the Peloton more than you? Is that why?
I don't actually.
The deadly Peloton.
The deadly Peloton.
Yeah. We had some good conversations.
Are you scared of your Peloton now that they've recalled all of them?
Well, so the thing is, the first death, the only death, death happened like a couple months ago.
As a child.
And then we were aware of that. But then now the recall thing happened where it's like it's an optional thing where you can get a full refund or whatever. But it lasts for like 2 years. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's good to know. I mean, the thing is, we don't let Moose go around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So
He'll get sucked right underneath that thing and get barbecued. So
exactly.
Let me get this straight. You're going to pull a Best Buy where at the end of your 2-year warranty, you accidentally spilled coffee on your Peloton?
I mean, I don't even need to accidentally do that. I just tell them to come
Take it
back
back.
and get that shit and get my money back.
Get a new
Hopefully
one.
by then they come out with a new version that is a little less small child and
Very
dog-proof.
fucking dangerous.
Oh my gosh,
If you
the
are,
amount of ways that people would figure out, I'm at the end of my 4 years. How can I get some broken pixels? How can I get some dead pixels on my panel or overheat something? Maybe I can destroy my hard drive. Like, oh my gosh, the loops that people would jump through. The hoops is what I meant to say. Yeah, disgusting, Tim. I hope you're not that person.
Well,
Now,
I mean, here's the thing though, Andy. Now with that, it's like I do understand that there's like the degrees of like shady shit versus just kind of using the system. And in my opinion, Best Buy's playing motherfuckers when it comes to these guarantees and warranties and all this stuff.
How
so
dare
it's like
you talk about us like that?
So it's like straight up like, yeah, I'm gonna
You're
use that
still a
shit. I'm
part
gonna
of it.
pour some coffee on some
Yeah,
laptops
course.
and
fuck
get a new
that.
one.
I'm
I
definitely that
reapplied
person.
2 weeks ago. Nick. I
Oh,
reapplied.
okay.
Yeah, I'm working.
Let me know where you.
service.
Let me know where you wind up because I've always. The vibe at the Best Buy on Harris Street is just like a chaotic party that someone. You guys ever been to one of those parties where you're like, I think someone needs to call the cops. Like I'm having a good time, but also
This shouldn't go on for
this-
very much longer.
this is
Dude,
getting dangerous. It's getting dangerous.
I didn't bring this up, but like I got super mad at someone recently. Did I bring this up?
At a Best Buy?
At a Best Buy?
Yeah, I was the Harrison one specifically. I went to go return some headphones. No, I went to buy new headphones. I wanted to exchange my headphones. One of my earbuds
Yeah.
died. I have a warranty on it, so I was like, I'm gonna go get the exchanges, and they sucked. Like I went in there, tried to find some like. I was like, oh yeah, where do I go to handle this? And they're like, oh, just grab the new pair of headphones. So I was like, okay, where are they? And they're like, oh, someone over there will tell you. And I went over there, and
Nobody was there.
I asked some guy. He walks by and he's like, I'm actually in the phone department, so I can't help you. I'm like, can you get someone? And he's like, yeah, all right. And then the other dude comes,
came
and
out.
I'm like, hey, I'm looking for these
I
headphones.
guess I can. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I'm looking for these headphones, and they're like, did you check the headphone area? It's like, no, I don't know where that fucking is because I just asked that guy,
Right.
and he says that I have to ask you where the headphone area is, and so he takes me over, and they're like, oh, they're not here. I was like, yeah, and online it says you have like 4 of them, and he's like, I guess I go check the back. Gone for
Yeah, check
30
the back.
minutes. Gone for 30 minutes. And
he
it's
pulled
just
the Andy
Tim Gettys
Cortez.
away.
yeah,
He pulled
but
the
I mean,
old
I'm
Andy
sitting there. I'm
Cortez.
sitting there watching, waiting for him to come out.
He's in the
Because
back eating
I'll
Takis.
catch him. I'll catch
Don't
him.
want to fuck with Kev.
He went to the warehouse and his coworker was like, pulling an Andy Cortez, huh? He was like, you know it, baby.
You
he
know it,
just sat
baby.
back there, chilled, yeah.
It was
The most
so
angry
much
I've
fun.
ever been at a Best Buy was when I was probably like 19 or 20, and I bought a car like radio deck thing, and like I probably spent like $120 on it, which for me at that time was a lot of money. Like this was something I saved up for, and I was like, I it's going to improve my life for things that I'm looking forward to. I like music. I want this thing to glow blue. Very, very Tim, even when I was younger. And I bought it, get it home, open it up, and it only glowed,
Glowed?
whatever,
Sure.
red. It wasn't the one that you choose the color. And obviously
okay.
I wanted the fucking blue one. And I'm like, this isn't the one I bought. It's not what was in the box was different than what was on the box. And I'm like, well, this fucking sucks. And I went to return it and they're just like, this isn't the same item. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I bought it here last night and this is what it came with. The box was brand new, untampered. It didn't look open before. Like, there's an issue here. This isn't my problem. And they were not having it. They thought I was trying to pull some shit and they were just doubling down and just like, sorry. Then I get Kevin involved. And that's when things got a lot, like things all of a
Well,
sudden.
That's
got
always the
sidetracked.
wild card. Yeah.
Yeah. Where me and Kev, we essentially were just like, we're not leaving. We're staking this out. You can go back and look at the security footage. I bought this thing here. Like this is what happened. We're going through this. And eventually I got my money back, but it wasn't for a couple of months. There was
Damn.
a huge fight, so many phone calls, so many back and forths of emails and stuff, but I got it. I won. And apparently what happened was it was a Sony thing. It was a Sony problem that Sony accidentally sent out a
screwed
whole
up.
bunch of these things
Yeah.
So it's like, motherfuckers, it's not my fault.
Man,
Don't treat me like this.
if I'm the GM of that store 304,
Mm-hmm.
I walk and I look at them and I say, you've been working on this for how long? How long have you been dealing with this issue? No, this is the waste of company time.
Company time.
You are
Yeah.
wasting company's time. It
You
is
could be out
so
there
much
selling.
more worth it to just give this motherfucker back the money than the amount of time we've been wasting on this bullshit. That's
well,
where you
the amount of
volume.
The amount of volume that Kevin Coelho adds to the store. Like, can you imagine an angry Kevin?
Yes.
When he's not only fighting for his own behalf, he's fighting for his friend's behalf. And there's no one that fights for
here's the thing. I'm not gonna be. I'm not just like a terrible customer. Like I'm a cordial person. I just want to make that clear. It's only when I've been wronged. When in this situation, the gentleman is telling me, "Oh, we don't have any more in stock," and this isn't my department, so I'm not gonna go look for it. That I'm like, no, you are gonna go look for it because I've been standing here for 20 minutes, and you're telling me that like you don't have any more. I came specifically to this store because of that.
Right. Now, and I'm gonna say two things right here. One, I've seen Kevin quasi angry before at stores. He's never angry. He's just very earnest, and it's very much to the point where if you're on the other side of that you're like, I'm gonna lose this battle. He's gonna wear me down. This is not something that I care to win. So I don't want to paint Kevin in a picture where he gets like irate with people. He just gets very like focused and he's like, I'm not gonna move, which I respect. But I will say this is why I always call the BS with the Best Buy. And I've had nothing but mostly pleasant experiences at Best Buys. I love Best Buys. I think we all love Best Buy. So if you think you're out there thinking we're talking shit about Best Buys and you put me in a car right now and say we're going to a Best Buy with Tim and Andy and Kevin, I'm like, let's get Starbucks first and we'll go to Best Buy.
Let's go have fun. Yeah.
I love Best Buy. But this is what I'm going to say is that I go to Target the other day, right? I go, sir, where do you guys keep the like, I needed like those, like the fucking things you hammer into the wall for paintings, right? Like, it's like, like the hardware you need to handle this. It doesn't matter. I get halfway through the sentence. The guy's like, it's going to be up second floor, aisle G2. Thank you. You know where they keep this little tiny thing. So why at Best Buy can't you don't you know what aisle the headphones are on? You know what I mean? And I think the answer is you do know. You just like fucking with people. Or you just don't want to. You don't want to care.
No, it's not. It could be. Look, a number of factors could be put in here. Who knows what that person?
You know what, Andy? I'm tired of you being a Best Buy corporate.
I'm gonna be the Best Buy apologist here because who knows what that person was going through that day. Also, who knows when that person was hired? Right? We got to talk about experience here and turnover. A lot of companies deal with a lot of turnover. Somewhere like Target, maybe they're a little bit more loyal and they pay their employees better.
Well, for sure.
Best Buy, a lot of turnover. People are in or out. It's like the NFL. The longest career at a Best Buy, it's sort of like the same proportionate time where the longest career at Best Buy is probably like 3 months or something like that. Fair. You know what I mean? And it all comes down to knowledge. We talk about how Costco pays their employees incredibly well, right? I think like the average pay they get is like $16, something wild like that. That's amazing. And if more companies did that, then more people would stick around and more people would have knowledge. So it starts at the top. It's systematic,
But
systemic
okay. Systemic. It is systematic and systemic. Here's my rebuttal to that. How long were you at the Best Buy for?
6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
6 years is how long you stayed. So you're saying the average time people stay at a Best Buy is 3 months, yet everyone I know that's worked at a Best Buy has worked there for at least 5 years. How long was Alfredo there?
Probably like 3, but that's just because we rescued him at IGN.
I mean, there's some lifers, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There are some lifers.
But the average, I'm with Andy. I do think that the turnover is high because there's a lot of seasonal people.
I feel like,
there's a lot of seasonal, and there's a lot of people that mean to work there for a long time that are just like, they get fired because they don't want to come to work anymore.
But
like that happens.
But I have to imagine that happens at
new
Target
employees
too.
we would hire, and I would think like, they're gonna become a friend. I can tell. Like they have a cool vibe about them. Nope, they're gone in like 3 weeks. I just never hear from them again. All right, they're gone. Who knows where they're at now?
That's got to be all retail though.
What's up, Kev?
I only worked there for 6 hours, but it was a good 6 hours. Sold a TV.
Did Kevin get fired from a Best Buy?
No, they like. So I got hired seasonally one like winter season.
God, Kevin working at a Best Buy would be everything. I would love to see that.
He'd be a great employee.
I know. That's serious.
I would have been phenomenal. But on my first day, towards the end of the shift, they like gave me a schedule. I'm like, no, this isn't like. I told them that I have another job, and like none of these hours work with that. And they're like I gave them the hours that I was free. And the guy was just a jerk and was like, look, you can either take it or leave it. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll leave the shirt.
Leave it.
I'll leave the shirt.
You left,
I would have taken the shirt.
That's the ultimate disrespect, Kevin. I love that.
I would have taken
it on the ground right in front of him.
I would have taken the first off. Did you just take your shirt off and you just had your undershirt on and you walked out with just the shoulders?
Because here's the thing, I can picture Kevin
crunch and fucking
crunch. I can picture Kevin like working the room, right? When he's dealing with a lot of customers, similar to me, you know, you're dealing with a group of customers and there's other people in another area that also want your help. And I can picture doing the thing like, yeah, you need the headphone jack. Yeah, that's fine. And what did you all need? Cell phone. Okay. I'll get Robbie right over here. He'll be here in a couple seconds. He's finishing up with some of the other customers. You guys, HDMI cords. Yeah, they're going to be in aisle 17. Like I could picture Kevin just working the room. Man.
I see him as being the opposite. I see him as being like figuring out where the sale's going to be and like schmoozing that client and being like, this Magnavox television is the Cadillac of TVs. Yeah, you know, I mean, in my brain, you worked in Best Buy in like 1993 when I was coming of age.
So yeah, I sold. I think it was like a 42-inch LG TV to someone, and he was the anchor
back then,
for
not a great TV.
ABC 7 news channel, like the main anchor at the time.
Local.
Yeah, local.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you offer to come over and install that in his house too?
I mean, I
On
like
his off
ran him.
time.
I was like, you do have to set these things up, and he was like, my grandkids can do it. I'm like, they're great at that, and he was like, yep.
You're like, they're gonna fuck it up.
The kids know what they're doing.
They're gonna fuck it up.
I want to make something really, really clear, just because like, I can already see the comments on this episode. Like, I want it clear that the story I told, this was not me being angry at somebody, like a Best Buy employee. I understand.
No, it's not like when I yelled at the guy at Starbucks.
This was somebody that was like legitimately called me a liar, like to my face, like this far from me, was saying like, you're lying. This, like, you didn't get this here. And I'm like, I did. I don't know what to tell you. And it's like, at some point, it's like, it went from being like, I have an issue with employee of the store to like, you're being a fucking asshole to me.
Sure.
And like,
yeah.
That's when Kevin had to get involved.
This person's absolute shit. Yeah. They don't have any respect. Yeah.
That's what brings me to my other point about like, see, I think there could be, it could go either way with Kevin being the Best Buy employee, because at a certain point, Kevin would pull someone aside and be like, you just get this on Amazon. You're going to spend a lot less money. They're gonna take it back if it's fucked up.
Especially because you don't work commission at Best Buy, right?
Yeah,
like if you perform better, you might get some Blue Crew bucks. Which getting Blue Crew bucks was like seeing Haley's Comet. You were gonna like if
what is that?
you ever got
happen once every 10 years,
because it was like a big bonus, Tim. And if you hit those goals, they never fucking happened. I want every commenter who's watching this, any former or current Best Buy employee, to comment down there. Current, I don't even think they have Blue Crew bucks anymore, but it was their bonus system of if you hit the Blue Crew bucks goal, you would get an extra $200 at the end of the year, whatever the fuck. It was like a little small thing. But we never hit those fucking goals, and it just became a joke of like, you're never gonna hit them, so why even talk about Blue Crew bucks? Stop talking about them. We're not gonna get this fucking bonus. They were always just the most outrageous goals.
It seems like the goals fucking move around. Like I know people who still work there, and it's like they definitely like, they're like, oh, we're on track to hit our yearly goal, and then like I'll talk to them 2 months later, and they'll be like, oh yeah, just the goal changed, so we didn't hit it. It's like, what?
It was always the manager Mark being like, hey, here's a challenge for you guys. I got a challenge for you all. He would always do that.
I fucking
hate
that.
It'd be the slowest day ever. Nobody would be fucking setting foot in the store, dude. And you'd just be just sort of standing around, like, I guess I'll just kind of make this area look nice. And he'd walk up to be like, hey, what's going on, guys? He'd be like, hey, you know what? I got a challenge for you. For every person it was always just
I don't want this. I don't want this.
He was such a nice dude, and he fucking loved Paul Stanley from Kiss. He loved Kiss.
I was like, Paul Stanley?
He loved Kiss as a band. And this was around the time that the World of Warcraft South Park episode came out. And all the kids are grinding in South Park, and they play Paul Stanley's "Live to Win Till You Die," and it's like the worst kind of motivational rock song. And we heard him playing that. We're like, oh my god, he's playing the World of Warcraft song. This guy rules, dude. And he was just all about Kiss. Dude. Loved it.
At any point, was he like, when you were like, listen, dude, I really don't want to do this stupid daily challenge? Was he like, hey, what would Paul Stanley do?
I just love that on his off days he would walk in sometimes just to shop, just to shoot the shit. He'd be like in his casual clothes, Paul Stanley shirt. Hell yeah!
Oh god, I love it. By the way, I love that it's just Paul Stanley. It's not the full band of Kiss. It's just one of the guys, not even the lead singer of Kiss.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was the fact that we knew he liked Kiss, but then when we heard him listening to Paul Stanley, I was like, oh, this is like my dad being a Rush fan, but also being into the side projects
Yeah.
of the band members.
That's how you know you're fucking deep in.
That's how he's like deep into the cult fan base.
Um,
Dude.
Hold on. Before we move on, Kev, like, are you sure we can do this?
Yeah,
When I
I
slapped
don't
you?
think there's an issue with it.
Okay, so we're talking about old
Confidence.
jobs that we used to have or whatever, and I just wanted to clarify with Kev that I could tell this story before. I'll let him tell it. But Kevin had a previous job that I don't think we've talked about on this show.
it's like when Andy made up that job about working at a car dealership.
Right? He's never said
Exactly.
it
It is very, very
And
similar
then
to
the
that. But
evidence
this
was
shit-
clearly faked, right?
It's totally fake.
Where it's like, look at these two people that are never on the show.
Andy's gonna quit this job one day. It's gonna be the best day of his fucking life.
So, Kev, tell me the age you were and what your job was.
I must have been like somewhere between 18 and 20, somewhere around that age. And I did it for probably a summer every weekend, probably 2 weeks, 2 years in a row, where I was the dog walker for Eric Schmidt, who at the time was the CEO of Google.
What?
What?
Yeah.
That like Kevin, you said Eric Schmidt, and I was like, certainly a different Eric Schmidt. Like,
No, yeah.
because I
no,
know that
Eric.
name being like as big into like Android and its tech as I used to be. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Kevin was the dog walker for
So-
the CEO of
so
Google.
my mom's-
So you
My
go
mom-
over to his house and pick up his dog?
I mean, it's way easier than that. Where I would go to his house and walk his dog in his backyard.
Yeah, around the complex. I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah. I didn't even have to clean up the poop.
No,
just leave it
they
there.
got a guy for that. That's a
Yeah, they
different guy.
had
That's the
guys
poop
for
guy.
that.
You're
And
the
then
dog walking guy.
a couple times I stayed in their guest house, which is right next door.
Why?
Because they wanted people to stay with the dogs for the whole weekend.
Oh, so they were like out of town, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll watch the dogs,"
Yeah.
and like not
Yeah,
go.
I
And
guess
I definitely will not go into the main house, and then you're just like partying.
Oh
in
no.
his- in Eric Schmidt's room.
I was allowed to go to the main house.
This is that like a lot of that's a lot of responsibility and like trust that they put in you.
I'm sure that they were watching. You know, they like had systems in place to make sure that everything was fine, right?
Do you think they were?
And
Do you think they had
also,
you on video, and they were like, if he does
my
anything?
mom's like best friend at the time was their house manager, so that's how I got that
Oh,
role.
that's cool. I love that. By the way, like, do you guys understand that what he just said? The house manager. This house is probably so big and so complex that somebody has to work full time to manage his properties and the people that work on his properties. Does that sound correct, Kevin?
Yeah. Like my mom would go every summer for like 4 years to Nantucket and stay in their guest house for a month.
That's amazing.
So So Eric Schmidt in 2006 was elected to Apple's board of directors
Cool.
until 2009, and then obviously he became the CEO of Google for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
And then Sundar Pichai took that role, but now he in 2016 became a chair of the new advisory board for the Department of Defense, and now since 2019 to 2021 he is on the National Security Commission of Artificial Intelligence.
Holy shit.
That's when you
Kevin
know
He
Wong
knows we're
dogs.
talking about him right now.
he
He's
just
a
got to
very
Google
friendly
it the
man,
second
yeah.
someone says his name. That's
He was a nice guy. Also, he had a beautiful, like old Ferrari, just that
You
sat
could
in
have
the
said
garage.
Don't tell me
anything
these
after
things.
beautiful, and I would have
was
believed it.
so pretty. Just
Was it
my
red?
red,
Like, was it
House,
red?
a
Huh?
fucking
Yeah, it was
house,
red.
horse, like anything.
Kevin, I just watched like the last 35 minutes of Ferris Bueller's Day Off last night. It was on IFC, and I was like
Yeah.
just flipping around channels as we were eating. And that scene where they kill the
they
Ferrari
destroy it
is
is so upsetting. Yeah,
fucking
it
so
looked just
upsetting.
like that. Yeah.
that's a very cool car. I don't
Yeah,
know
it was
my
a
early
very
classic
cool car.
Ferraris,
Yeah.
but I think that was like a 61 or 62. It's fucking
I bet you
so
that's
cool.
one of his cars. Like he's got to have.
No.
Not that, I mean, you
100%
have
is.
three.
He's
You
a
have
billionaire.
3 cars, Kevin. I'm not saying like it's crazy,
Sure.
but when I say one of, I mean that he has like a garage,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
GTA style Bruce Wayne of just like classics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And when I say Bruce Wayne, obviously I'm talking about the George Clooney one.
Yeah.
With where
Elle
no, I
McPherson.
guess it was Val Kilmer, where Robin, Chris O'Donnell's like in the
Motorcycles.
garage with him. Yeah.
But one thing about the job is that there was an older dog that didn't like it only ate food if you hand fed it with your fingers.
Like, guys, you can't write this shit.
That's amazing.
It's like
He's just always been like that.
You develop a bond really quick when you hand
With
feed
the
something
dog,
with your
yeah.
fingers. And
Why can't he eat out of a bowl? Because he can't see
he
or
was
he's
so
just
old. He
spoiled.
was like 11, and just he didn't want to. He liked it better
my
this
God.
way. And
I mean, I
frankly,
would
if I'm
too. I'd
being
be like, I don't
honest,
wanna lift my hands
I
in
did
here.
too. Yeah, it made
Yeah.
the job fun, you know.
It's kind of cool
That sounded kind of
because I love it, especially if you love dogs.
Well, it's just like you
God.
feel like you're making a difference in someone's life.
Yeah.
Did you ever think like, hey, I'll just hit this guy up and like maybe work for him on some level because he owns a
No,
company?
God, no,
It's like,
not at all.
You didn't want to do it.
I was
You don't
just
wanna be in that
happy to
world?
get paid too much to do this.
That's
Again, remember
Yeah.
the context of this. Like, we were little kids at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Like there was just money coming in.
Wait,
Yeah,
again, what
I
age was
just-
this?
I had just turned. It was the summer that I turned 18, and then I think I did again the summer I turned 19. So like being able to drive was new. I didn't get a license till I was 18. So it was like, oh cool, I can drive 40 minutes to this people's house and like walk
how
the
much
dog.
you don't have
Kevin,
to.
this is like a missed opportunity because here's what I think.
Uh-huh.
Like, I feel
move,
like
man, never leave.
no, I feel like this could have been one of those moments where Eric Schmidt is like, you know what, I see a lot in this kid, you know, and like
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe
I'm
like
like-
a mentorship program, and you start hanging out with him a lot, and then suddenly, next thing you know, you are working for Google, making 148K a month or
But
a
isn't
year
it
as
better-
like
isn't
a
it
as like
better-
a
Month.
20-year-old,
Isn't it better that the world worked out this way and that we're here now?
I mean, I think so, Kevin.
Sure.
We couldn't do this without you. But the idea of you running Google is also fascinating somehow to me. Like I feel like
Because if you would have stuck on with that, you're bringing along Tim. Tim is helping out with these Google I/O.
Tim,
big
all of a
events,
sudden
you
it's like
know?
this. It's like this. Tim goes, listen, fucking Apple does it right. They get the big LED wall, but we're fucking Google. Are we not Google?
Motherfuckers.
Can we get an LED room? I want an LED concert hall where everything's LED, including the people. They need to be LED also.
Eric Schmidt, I want you to come down from the ceiling. All right? You're coming down the ceiling. There's gonna be a lot of fire behind you.
There's going to be heaven and hell theme. It's heaven and hell theme.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I like
That's
that.
cool,
Nick.
right?
Yeah.
So like Eric Schmidt comes down from the ceiling, but then Tim rises from fucking hell, and he's just like,
fucking love it.
we're taking the power of heaven and hell and combining them
We're meeting
in to
together,
the new
yeah.
Android device.
This is the one day we have peace. So to
Yeah,
say.
It's a little esoteric, but it's gonna work.
You're gonna love it, guys. You're gonna love it.
Just very quickly, the last little thing I want to tell, like the only
Why
time I ever-
quickly? I want to hear all of this. I want to hear all the details of the story.
So like, I mean, dog walking, I'm hired to go there when they're not there. So the only
Yeah.
time I ever
So they walk their
actually-
own dogs,
Yeah,
or they're
I
like
mean,
someone
well,
else is
I
there
mean,
to walk the dog or play with
Yeah,
the dog.
someone
or
else is
whatever.
there to walk the dog when they're not there.
So they're gone to Nantucket. This is their West Coast house. You have to go and like hang out with the dogs occasionally.
yeah, I mean, usually
Something
they
like that.
take the dogs to Nantucket, but
That makes sense too. They have
this
a
is
private
them
plane
going on
and
trips
one for
somewhere.
the dogs.
But so the only time I ever met Eric Schmidt was I forgot like the keys and I couldn't get into the main house, and he was staying in the guest house because like I guess he didn't like
Just switch
staying
it
in-
up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
well,
like easy to left
I
hand.
mean, it was a big house, so
probably
staying
too
there
big,
by
yeah.
yourself, you're like fuck. What, I'm
Scary.
gonna walk downstairs to like the kitchen. No, it's like the guest house was really dope because it was like a really nice studio, right? So everything is in this one giant room. It just kind of
Is it like Will Smith and Fresh Prince of Beverly Hills, where it was like out back and it was like a cool,
Yeah.
just like chill pad?
Oh yeah,
I always thought that was cool.
I always wanted one of those.
But yeah, my only interaction was me knocking on the door and him kind of like coming over confused and me being like, I'm so sorry, I locked myself out. Can you let me back in?
I love it. Literally into Google Home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Google Home.
man,
He's
Kevin,
just
now
like go up to the door and just whisper Fidelio, and it'll let you in.
now I'm just like on this rabbit hole, right, of being super into tech, and I had to Google who Matias Duarte, who was kind of the guy that got hired onto Google to reinvigorate Android, but prior he worked on WebOS. And what did WebOS create? The thing we still use today, of bringing up all your apps, seeing all the apps pop up, swipe away the cards. So Like this dude is the one who started that on Palm Web OS, and then Android hired him, made that sort of a thing, and now he is the chief. He's the vice president of design. So it's just little facts right there for y'all.
It's crazy,
little tech
right?
nerds out there. Little tech nerds.
Tim, yesterday, this is an on-sec, whatever you missed. Timur did the Kind of Funny crew as DC characters.
I've been seeing this go around. I haven't looked at it yet.
I think I've help me out, guys. Which one was Tim? I think you ended up being like
Tim was Robin.
Was he? No.
Yeah,
was he? I thought Blessing was Robin.
No, Robin. Blessing was
Tim was Nightwing.
Tim Drake.
Tim was Nightwing. That's right.
Yeah. Blessing is Damien.
I thought they were both versions of Robin.
Yeah.
Well,
Nightwing was the first Robin.
Yeah.
Dick.
But I thought Blessing was the cool Nightwing version.
He's Damien.
Maybe you're right.
He's Damien.
Well, the point is, Tam made me Ra's al Ghul, but not the real Ra's al Ghul. He made me fake Ken Watanabe Ra's al Ghul. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna. I mean, obviously, it's fun. It's all good. Right? We love you, Tam. But he's tweeting now. I just want to make it clear. He just tweeted at me. I'm going to make it clear that I have nothing but love and respect. So the question is, we're at a precipice here, Andy.
Oh wow, what a crossroads.
Do we?
What direction do we take this?
Yeah, which way do we go? Do I push harder back on like the disrespect, or do I just say nothing but love? We love it, of course. I mean, he knows it's a joke.
I think we continue the feud. I think
100%. It's too late, Tim. It's too late.
I don't want to like double down and like have the same conversation you guys already had. But what I do want to know from you guys is, I'm getting the vibe you don't agree with his list.
His
or
list
is it
was
just Nick's that's questionable.
100% great. 100% great minus mine.
His list was perfect.
Perfect.
But Nick doesn't think his is perfect.
He made Kevin Batman. And I'm not saying that I should be Batman, but
it sounds like you are.
I mean, who doesn't want to be Batman? Who doesn't want to be Batman on the
his
reasons,
DC his reasons for everything were sound.
Spot on. Spot on.
Kevin's Batman. He could figure out his way out of weird situations. He's a problem solver. He's prepared.
He has 3 cars, so he's
3 cars. Yeah, Joey said, he has 3 Batmobiles. He gave me the Riddler. He gave me the Riddler. I like a good rhyme. I'm creative in what I do, stuff like that. Yeah, he just had a lot of good shit. Of course, Greg was Joker. Of course,
naturally.
Yeah.
He had a lot.
I love this.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a good one.
But he said if I'm low on sleep and not energetic, that I am. Who did he give me? He gave me the character
Monday, Solomon
Grundy.
Grundy, yeah,
that's it. Not Monday.
Yeah, which I don't have a whole lot of experience with.
It's just a zombie, like in the style.
He's not
of Frankenstein.
He's not the best.
He's not great.
Honestly, it was kind of insulting to you too. So
I don't know about that.
No, I think it's fine. Yeah. I think he was spot on.
Yeah, I mean, all of them were really nice and complimentary, with one exception.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. I think I know what he was going for, but I was like, because I don't know Tam that well, and I've only spent like maybe a couple hours with him total. We did the Demolition Man.
Best man. I love him so much. Where it's like I feel like if I could retroactively change something about my past, it would be that I started hanging out. Go back and work out at
GameSpot. Yeah.
No, maybe not that. I wouldn't go that far. But I'm just fucking around. But with Tam, like he is just a solid gold human being, and he's funny as shit.
He's hilarious. We watched Demolition Man together, and it's just a shame that when they do Demolition Man 2, he's not invited. It's a shame.
Wow,
it's a damn shame.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find this list. I want to see what makes me Nightwing.
I can.
Seems like the ultimate compliment that I don't deserve. Because
Nightwing's
dope as fuck.
I have it on. I can forward it to you.
Well, a lot of it was being Kevin's sidekick.
Can you explain why Nightwing is dope as fuck?
Nightwing's dope.
I mean, you know the answer.
It's because his color's blue, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's also dope as
I'm a
shit.
simple man, okay?
Yeah.
Nightwing was cool. A couple reasons. One, I think the costume's cool, but 2, he's got the Kentucky waterfall too. And a lot of the things, his hair's like longer in the back, and it just kind of looks like mullety, and I respect that.
The Kentucky waterfall.
Yeah, that's what they call it now.
Whoa.
Yeah. No.
Wait, who calls what that?
I went over to visit my buddy Brennan the other day. I met up at his place to have some like outdoor beverages. And like some of his staffers were there, and one of them is from Louisiana, and he was like, "Yo, man, you growing a mullet?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, We call that the Kentucky waterfall.
That's cool.
It's fucking awesome.
I like
it. Makes
that.
me want to grow up more. Everyone hates it. I love it. My sister-in-law hates it.
There's a trend going around right now of people giving their dogs mullets.
That's awesome.
Wait, how?
I respect this.
How?
I forgot who I saw post this. Hold on.
Can we Google dog mullets?
What do you mean how, Andy? You just shave the sides. So you just have
Yeah,
one
I
like
just keep it.
it's kind of like a fat mohawk, right?
Oh my god. I fucking
Yeah, there was
they're doing it to palms. Tim, they're doing it to palms.
I know.
You
Hold on,
gotta
Kev,
do
I'm
this.
gonna send it to assets.
Yeah, I'm looking up dog mullet.
Oh my god, this
Yeah.
is the fucking best. You gotta do this. You gotta do it.
Oh
Yeah,
right,
bring
this
So good.
it was the if
Bring it
Nick
up.
is a werewolf. If Nick was a werewolf picture,
Oh no, dude. It's so good.
you see that, Andy?
Oh my god.
Oh
that
my
does-
god. Okay.
Holy shit.
Oh, that
Okay.
was it. Look
I
at the
have
one.
never seen
Okay, so
a dog
you-
look so much
Here-
like Nick.
here's my
I
thing
mean,
about
I'm
it.
in.
Here's the thing.
I love
A
it.
lot easier to picture when it's in this stance. But for me, it's hard to picture a
No.
mullet on an animal that's on all fours.
Can you
Kev-
click on the one right next to it, Kevin? Right next to it. That's what I'm laughing at.
That is a Joe Dirt ass looking dog.
Yeah, it's the most redneck dog I've ever seen. I can't
Okay,
even.
Kev.
He's chewing tobacco. I know it. I know he's
Yeah,
chewing
he's got
tobacco.
some chaw. He's got some
The
chaw.
blue
I'm gonna send that to
bow
Danielle.
tie.
Oh my
What?
god, this is the best.
Can you click on the one with the blue bow tie, please?
Yeah.
Oh my
Sorry.
god.
I think,
gotta
yeah, I
send
think,
this to my
I think
wife.
it is shaving the neck that I couldn't really picture
Oh,
how
fuck.
that looked.
I sent assets the link.
Tim, by the way,
It's
you are
just the
Nightwing.
best.
Yeah, you are Nightwing. My bad. I thought you were the first version of Robin. My bad.
That's
Tim is incredibly
Nightwing.
level-headed. Okay, yeah. He is reliable. He's a realist. He is also very charming. A hit with the ladies. Looks like he could do some acrobatics. Generally, a nice, smart,
No.
likable person with his head on his shoulders. In this event, Kevin is hit with dark sides with Mega Sanction and removed from existence. Is actually
In the
sent back
event.
to the dawn of time. Blah 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 blah.
Got it. I like that a lot. The acrobatics, totally off.
No,
And the
totally
ladies thing.
I brought up my
questionable.
issue that I thought I'm disappointed that you weren't a skateboarder.
But then he is a skateboarder. Tony Hawk taught him how.
Oh my god, this dog. Is this the
I
one you
used to
put in?
skateboard. This is not. Kev, can you go to the one I put in, please?
Yeah,
Yes.
Joey sent that
So,
one. This is the one.
Yeah, look at this guy. This is hilarious. But hit the little right arrow.
See, it looks like a beard right here, though. Doesn't look like. Oh yes,
but
Oh,
there,
that's it.
Look
There
at
it
it.
is.
Rocking it, man.
there it is.
That's what I looked at before.
That makes a lot more
Kevin, can you go back to the one because what Joey said about the prior picture, the one that she sent through? She said, and I quote, "Tell me this dog doesn't have major Patrick Swayze energy."
Wow,
And it's
totally
fucking
does.
true. That's
This
the
is so
Zypha.
funny. I have never I don't think I've ever seen a dog that looks like people. And right now I've just seen Nick Scarpino and Patrick Swayze as dogs. Like this is like
Yeah.
Twice
blowing
in
my
one day.
fucking mind.
Twice in one day.
I love this so much that it makes me want to buy a long-haired dog and and risk getting a divorce because Danielle would most assuredly hate me for this. But I would keep this dog's hair like that forever.
She want a dog.
She would want a long-haired dog. She would get a dog, but she doesn't want a long-haired dog. She would want to
So
get
wait,
hair all
the
over
only
place.
reason
We
you
got
don't have a
velvet
dog
couch.
is because you won't settle with a short-haired dog?
Well, technically, the only reason we don't have a dog is because, quote, I'm immature, but
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
I'm also a child. But yeah, so we're working through that right now.
Nick, you want a
But that
dog?
is-
So now
Hey,
here's
dog.
here's my question: Is
It's a
how
husky. You're gonna be a husky. It's a long-haired dog.
how valuable is the picture of Moose with a mullet?
Oh, super valuable, dude.
I mean, the hair
Because-
grows back.
now,
Because that's my thing. Is last time he got his haircut, remember there was the accident, and he ended up coming out looking like a little kitty cat, which
He looks
essentially is
so
just
cute like that.
and he's fucking adorable like that, but it's a different look. His hair is back now. Like he is back to full
yeah, I think
poof,
it
full
goes
fluff.
back fast.
This is
So my thing is I would have to get 2 haircuts because I'm not Moose isn't gonna live like
You
this.
gotta let him live like
But
that,
it's like
dude.
maybe like a
Tim,
week.
it's
but, like,
freedom.
no. He can live like that, and then like all the other hair will grow in to the right length. It's not like the
This
mullet's
one's
gonna stay.
Fucking amazing.
I don't like a fully shaved Pomeranian. I just don't like
looks
the way it looks.
Lulu, almost.
It does look like Lulu. Yeah.
Kev, can you click on the one? It's like oh shit. One,
Here's what I'm
two,
saying you
three,
should do.
4 down, and 1, 2, 4. 4 down, 4 over.
4 down, 4. This one?
Yes. Oh, it's too small. This is unbelievable.
Tim, here's what I'm saying you should do with
Moose.
Moose.
That's up. that is amazing.
If
I
you can
wish
do
I could look like that.
you can do the mullet for Moose, fantastic, right? I think there's a lot of hairstyles we can't play with just because of how the body shape is and of how long the hair can make him floofy, right?
But
I
he
would
can-
love to see.
but they can
I would love to
foof up the
see.
top.
I would love to see a fucking goatee on that motherfucker.
no.
Like, oh no, this is an
no.
awful
no.
photo.
Yeah,
They
this is
went too
horrifying.
far.
That's exactly what Moose would look like if we did that to him, which we never would.
I mean, that's
You
what
got-
any Pomeranian would look like if you shaved him down to the skin.
Yeah, why
It
they
would be
shave
bad.
his
Yeah, but this
skin?
one has
It's
a little moose face for sure. The Poms have the different. There's like a couple different like archetypes of face, and that's definitely moose energy.
Oh my God,
I would
these
love
dogs.
to just see a cool goatee, a little soul patch on Moose of some.
I love that. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I mean, honestly, if we just shaved him down to like what his kitty cat look, for the body, but then kept his face like puffy, I'd be all about it. And yeah, some type of just mega epic beard situation.
Yeah.
I just feel like you've run past the mullet, and I don't like that. I want to go back to Moose with the mullet because I'm looking at this dog right here. I mean, the Poms are so cute with the little mullets because you can keep the front part poofy, so it's like an '80s baseball player mullet. You know, it's like feathered out. But I will say also that
Holy shit. He looks so cool here, Tim.
He's so cute.
This is the
I
best
know. He
picture
really does.
you've ever had of him.
This is part of his Johnny Ace outfit, but the rest of it
That's
just didn't come in time. But yeah, he looks so rad.
Unfortunate. Oh, that was for Super Bowl Sunday, right?
For our Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
I will say I'm just
SCF
gonna
thing.
say I'm also a huge fan of the lion cut on the Pomeranians. So if you want to give them the lion cut,
mane.
that's the most. Yeah, they give them the big mane and then they give them the little cuffs.
That
It's
is
the
pretty
cutest
neat.
thing ever.
I do like
Very,
that as
very
well,
cute.
Nick.
Oh my God. What is this cube that you sent through?
That's Joey.
That's amazing.
Joey's just like having fun sending pictures of
Oh, the
dogs.
cube
Joey,
is
get on
great.
this podcast. What
Wait,
are you
hold on,
doing? If
hold
you're
on,
watching
hold
it,
on.
get in here.
All right, I googled lion cut, and there's a lot of great they went
Oh
too
my
far with the cut.
God.
Nah, I don't like
That one right there. That's what it look like. He's like Simba.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
God, it's so funny.
This is a good episode. If you're not enjoying this episode, you're not enjoying life, ladies and gentlemen. Let's. Tim, you had a thing a long time ago you wanted to talk about.
I did. Yeah, let's bring it up, Kev. It's a
bring it
weird
up?
one. But Jeff Grubb retweeted this, so I saw it on my timeline. Some crazy shit. So some woman tweets out over the weekend about 15 California condors
Oh my
descended
God.
on my mom's house and absolutely trashed her deck. They still haven't left. It sucks, but also this is unheard of. There's only 160 of these birds flying free in the state, and a flock of them decided to start a war with my mom. I just got off the phone with my mom. So those that know her will all agree she's one of the strongest women ever. But I'm even more in awe knowing that my tiny little mom was staring down a bunch of birds half her size from less than 10 feet away, trying to shoo them away. She keeps going on. She does think that this is pretty amazing, but also the worst. They don't have to leave her property, but leave the house alone. They keep hanging out on her roof and railings, messing with stuff and pooping everywhere. Trees are fine, but not the house, please. And it just keeps going. But
my
it's just
God,
like,
look at the poop
these things
stains.
are
They're huge.
terrifying.
They're huge.
What was it that drew them here?
There's
I
so
mean,
many questions.
Here's the thing. Everyone knows condors are the most pure of birds. So my question is to you, Andy, what is this lady's mom doing that these condors
Definitely.
have to come
Are
and
there
like
dead
set some
bodies
shit
involved?
straight? Exactly.
You know?
Like a condor has never done anything wrong. They don't do things wrong.
I feel like this is one of those the locusts are flying biblical things. You know, like
Got it.
this has got to be some sort of there's danger on the horizon. We don't know what it is, but for no reason would 15 condors show up at somebody's house unannounced.
Yeah.
That just
seems like
bizarre.
It's bizarre. That would terrify me also. Nature terrifies me.
Nick, have you always liked condors?
I don't know anything about
It
condors.
sounds like you're obsessed.
Okay,
with
well,
them. Oh, okay.
the
I
thing
just
is-
made that up.
Do you know where the largest condor is from?
Seattle, Washington.
That's right, Peru. And
Holy
they're big.
shit.
They're so
That is
big.
not a bird. That is a fucking dinosaur.
That's a
Get away
pterodactyl.
from that thing. That could mess you up, dude.
Yeah.
I saw-
You don't get
I saw
too close.
turkeys one time and I was like, why are there turkeys so big? I never thought turkeys would be scary, but I saw wild turkeys one time up in Napa and I was like, this is These things could
No,
fuck
that's
up
an eagle.
a
Never
child.
mind. That's an eagle. Don't
What's
be
the
confused.
what's
Still,
the
it's
biggest
huge.
What's the biggest modern bird that isn't like an emu or an ostrich? Like what's,
I'm pretty
it's a
sure it's
condor,
the
isn't it?
Andean. There you go, condor.
There you go.
But I'll
Condor, yeah,
check.
they're big. That's
because like
huge.
wingspan, what are we talking? Upwards of 20 feet, maybe. 15
I mean, that was
feet?
at least 10 feet right there.
Ah, shit. Hold on. Right,
20
right
feet's
there.
definitely a lot.
Wingspan. Hold on.
20 feet.
20 feet is bigger.
This can't be right.
Way
This
bigger.
can't be right.
Wait,
Hold on.
what does it say?
So I think that top one's not a bird anymore.
Oh,
That's
like a
jet
pterodactyl.
airliner.
The wandering albatross
It was the biggest
is
one.
the largest living flying bird by wingspan.
How big
What's
is
the
it?
wingspan?
What's the wingspan on it?
The wandering albatross is a large seabird.
No, it took down the Titanic.
It did. They
was
thought
an
it was an
iceberg.
iceberg. Turns out it was two albatrosses and
It
a
was
fresca.
it was them trying to cover it up like Kong, and like Godzilla.
The wandering albatross has the longest wingspan of any living bird,
11
typically
feet.
ranging from 2.5 to 3.5 meters. So that is 8'3" to 11'6".
I would like to add, not an impressive bird though. You look at this bird
No,
and
the
you're like,
condor way better, Kevin.
that's
way
a
better.
seagull. That's a
Yeah,
very
it's a big
large
seagull.
seagull.
Dude,
It's
this
the
seagull that
shack
ate
of
a big
seagulls,
breakfast.
if you will.
Yeah.
dude,
yeah.
11 feet. It's almost like floor to ceiling for my big apartment room. That's
11 feet is taller than the tall lady in Resident Evil Village.
Not much taller though, right?
2 feet taller,
She's only 9
right?
feet
She's
tall.
9 feet. I think
Yeah, but
so.
they don't stand on the tip of their wing. It's not like they're gonna come at you
'cause
sideways like
but I can't
breakdancing at you.
imagine. I can't imagine like riding an ATV or something. I've never ridden an ATV, but like I can't imagine riding a vehicle or just being in my Honda Civic and seeing something with an 11-foot wingspan coming towards my car. I think if I'm in my vehicle, it's gonna pick up me with my car.
Yeah.
And take me off somewhere.
Easily.
Right?
What
If not,
what-
if your sunroof is open, it's gonna come in. It's gonna unbuckle your seatbelt. It's gonna
What
take
a
you away.
weird comparison to randomly find. There's the wandering albatross and there's the Andean condor.
That's awesome.
way cooler.
Oh,
Way
way cooler,
cooler.
Nick. Way cooler.
This actually goes into our first Patreon question today. This comes from Cozy Bear. He says, listen, we all love riding around on horses, but there are no shortage of animals on Earth that are large or larger than horses that we don't ride on. What new large animal should we domesticate in mass and take to the streets?
Take to the streets. What
Easy
an excellent
right?
question.
A tiger.
I mean, the answer is all. Like I feel
Whatever
like
we can,
I
right?
want just a variation down this.
I think
like
I think we fly the bird.
oh,
I mean,
shit,
that's what I'm
11-foot
thinking.
wingspan.
You could probably get a small person on a condor. It wouldn't even phase it. Because
Yeah,
this is what I'm
see,
talking
that's
about,
where
right?
the wandering albatross doesn't really like stand up. Like I don't think we could ride that thing. It has a long
I don't think
wingspan.
sucks.
What is there a word that's the opposite of chode that's not just pencil dick?
Like chode? No, chode's perfect. Why?
No,
You
it's
can
the
call that bird a
opposite,
chode?
though.
Oh.
I feel like the wandering albatross is the opposite of a chode. You know what I mean? It's like
wouldn't the
skinny
opposite-
and long.
Huh.
I have no idea.
I think I'm lost in what we're trying to say.
Yeah,
I
me
just
too.
think the albatross
He wants a
suck.
term to describe a thin, long,
Oh.
long wiener.
Like, okay, a thin long wiener. Okay. Yeah, I mean pencil dick would be the one. Just pencil
All
dicky.
right. So wandering
Yeah,
albatross has big pencil dick energy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
big. That's thin pencil dick energy for sure. Here, this is what I'm gonna say. Is that we're talking about global warming. We're bringing in politics. We're talking about carbon emissions, and everyone's talking about thank God for the electric car, right? People like Teslas. Tim's got the Prius C. Andy walks everywhere to the CVS doing his part. Why have we not thought about going back to riding animals as our main source of transportation?
Hey, they're not effective in any way.
But it's fun.
No, it
Dangerous,
would
too.
be
That's-
fun. It would be fun.
Yeah, the upkeep is a big thing.
They poop
is a
everywhere.
big thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but poop-
and
but
feed
Tim, when they
food
poop-
and all that stuff.
Stuff comes out of the poop, grows, you eat it. Martian.
Yeah, there are a lot of options. I saw something really bizarre today.
Fucking
While me and
Nick's
Gina were
eating bird
eating
poo.
lunch, I looked out the window and I saw these two people riding bicycles. They were electric bicycles, but on the front of them, there was this giant FedEx delivery contraption. So these were FedEx delivery people on electric bikes with kind of like the tiny trailers that you sometimes see like cars dragging along?
Like a U-Haul type thing? Or?
Kind of, but like one of the smaller ones. It was
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but it was in the front of the bike, which
Oh.
is weird.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like this. And I was just thinking through it. I'm like, I can't think of a context where this is efficient and makes any sense.
Delivery, you know what I mean?
And we, well, I mean, yeah, that's what
gig
FedEx
workers,
is.
You know what I mean? So now there's the FedEx worker, a big truck parks over, 4 guys pick up stuff. Boom, it gets delivered at 1/4 the speed. Are we moving away from the birds?
It gets delivered at 1/4 the speed.
I don't think we're moving.
4 times. Kevin, are we moving away from riding animals? Because I want to go back to that, and I'd like to start with this.
Away. I think we're moving.
Yes.
I think we're moving to a word from our sponsors, which is Kind of Funny Games, I believe.
It is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna do the ad right now. This episode of the Kind of Funny podcast is brought to you by twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Hey, have you heard of my man Snowbike Mike? He is the greatest human being ever on the planet, and he hosts our daily live streams over on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and give or take a few minutes here and there, depending on if they decide to go a little bit long on the old KFGD, if you know what I mean. But we play a myriad of games over there, not the least of which is Warzone, which I get to play 2 times out of the week, and then we just have some fun. Are we going to play Fall Guys next week? We don't know. Are we going to play some more stick fight next week? We don't know. Am I going to annoy Greg with Ultimate Chicken Horse? Eventually I will. Tune in every day, Monday through Friday, weekly, 11 a.m. Pacific time for twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to see us all have some fun. Come have fun with us live. It's fun. It's live. Now back to the show.
So you want to do ostriches, Kevin?
I mean, first of all, I've spoken many times of my fear of ostriches. But it's time to face my fears.
Yeah,
face my fears.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Can you go back to the first part where they're racing? You tell me you could have fucking pause it, and roll it back and loop that fucking clip. You gonna tell me we're all allowed to go back to work one day, right? And you and me, I pull up with a fucking just identical cherry ostriches, right? You and me riding those things to work every day. You're not gonna want to ride those things every day. Come on, look at this thing.
Their necks are too long.
Why does he have a sock on his face? Why did he have a sock on his head?
For fear, so they're not scared of what you're gonna do to them.
Oh, because when they're blind, they're mellow.
Seems like this should be fake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this
seems
like they're like rigged, and they're like photoshopping all the wiring.
Dude, okay, here's the thing that's bizarre about this is this guy straight up looks like Bob Hoskins in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
He does. I don't know why he's wearing
this ostrich looks exactly like the concept art for Yoshi in the original Mario. I don't know, man. I feel like we're onto something here. Like I'm down to ride this ostrich, but not treat it like a Yoshi. I'm not gonna punch it in the head.
No, you didn't.
I don't like them grabbing. I don't like them grabbing the neck right there at the end.
Oh, they like that though. That's an ostrich kink.
Oh,
they love it. You choke it a little bit.
But I will say really efficient. Like that looks you're laughing at everybody in traffic when I'm going down to the local CVS.
Oh my God,
I'm fucking laughing later, losers. Like I'm on this ostrich and obviously kind of scaring little children in the road as well or on the sidewalk, but I'm laughing at people stuck in their stupid cars, you know.
Andy, go ahead, Nick. You pull up to the CVS in that ostrich. And you think to yourself, I'm just going to ride this motherfucker right in, right? Because people bring their dogs in. Why can't you bring your ostrich into the CVS? Do you think homie in the corduroy is still talking shit when you roll up with an 18-foot ostrich?
I think his mouth is shut.
I think you just shut him.
That's fake.
Fuck up. Is that a moose?
I know it's fake, Andy, but like,
riding a moose.
Think how cool you'd look riding a moose.
But why did somebody fake someone riding a moose? Like that doesn't seem worth the time.
That moose takes dangerous. A hard left, stab through the goddamn chest.
Moose are big. Ooh. That's a big animal. That thing can fuck you up. Those things fuck up bears sometimes.
I want to go back to the tiger thing because as a fan of World of Warcraft back in the day and being able to have a mount, right? You finally at level whatever you get your first mount and you can ride like a wolf or sometimes like a horse or whatever. But in my case, I got a big tiger because I was a night elf hunter. And it's the only time that I've thought to myself, you know what? I want to get allergy shots. I want to no longer be allergic to cats because I would totally ride a tiger anywhere possible. Mm-hmm. Like I wish they were gigantic first off. I guess this was a way bigger tiger than like a real life tiger.
You could still ride a tiger. It'd be big. It could be big over you.
Because a tiger in World of Warcraft probably equivalent to like the size of a Ford Explorer SUV. You know,
That's
way
bigger.
bigger,
Yeah, that's
way
big.
bigger. Because regular tigers, I think they're too small for us.
Well, you could. I bet. I'm pretty sure you could ride a tiger if it would let you. If it was big enough, like if it was like a full size tiger.
I just want to say it seems like it's been done. You know what I mean? Like
Moose
Riding a
riding.
tiger?
No,
Oh,
moose
moose
riding.
moose riding.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I
Look
totally
at how
believe you
regal
ride
that
a
looks.
This
Look how
looks
regal
so
that looks.
dangerous. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the first picture you showed, Kevin. Yeah, imagine this fucking deer, moose, elk,
Stabs you
whatever,
in the fucking eyeball.
just turning to the left.
You're just
Like,
impaled. Yeah.
It just turns its head, and the fucking thing is in your brain.
You gotta
Oh,
freaking.
wow.
You gotta. You
Straight
gotta
from
baby
the
proof.
Lord itself.
Straight
you
from
know?
the Hobbit. That's
Which one? Which one was
Thranduil.
that one? Is that
Thranduil.
Lord
Thranduil?
Thranduil. That's Lee
Thranduil.
Pace.
Yeah,
The
Lee
most
Pace.
beautiful of all the elves.
He was good looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
The elf.
Oh, is that before he
Sexy
falls?
What?
Does he fall?
Never mind.
Did he fall in the Hobbit? I don't remember the
No,
Hobbit at all.
Saruman was like a good wizard at one point. Got corrupted by his powers.
Yeah, but this
I
is
thought
Lee
that-
Pace.
yeah,
No,
Lee
Lee
Pace
Pace is the elf.
Thraldamon
Yeah,
or whatever
you're right.
Andy just
It's
said.
not a wizard's not
Tran-
enough. I was just being dumb. Sorry.
Say it again
Pronounce
one
it,
more
Nick.
time.
Thranduil. It's
Thranduil.
Thranduil.
I hate myself saying this word. I just want you to know when I say it, I hate myself. I hate you that you made me say it.
No, because I picture what's his face, Mr. Anderson from The Matrix.
Oh yeah, Hugo Weaving.
I'm picture Hugo Weaving saying Thranduil like that. You know, he's cool.
But Lee Pace wasn't in the Lord
no,
of
he
the
was
Rings, right?
just in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
He was just in The Hobbit. He was beautiful.
I mean,
Great
love Lee
eyebrows.
Pace. Obviously, great as the bad guy in Guardians 1. Great in *Halt and Catch
Halt
Fire*.
and Catch Fire. Oh
Yeah,
my
he's getting
god.
Halt and Catch Fire.
I remember he came in for Comic-Con, I think the last year Tim and I worked it, and I was like, that dude is tall. I remember thinking that.
That's one tall dude.
He had a big watch on, and I was like, that's a big watch, but it doesn't look that big on him because he is tall.
Andy, what's
What are we
going
looking
on?
at here? Is that a liger?
No, it says Sigmund
white tiger.
and Roy. Roy Horns talks living, but like it's a picture of one of them riding a tiger.
Bad idea.
Is that-
It's a bad idea?
It worked out fine.
It ultimately did, but
He survived. Okay.
and to be fair, the
tiger was trying to
save
help.
him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, Kevin, you asked a question earlier, and I just want to circle back around to it because it's the cutest and funniest thing ever. Have you seen when they put the blinders on birds? Because you
Yes.
asked why he's wearing a hood.
No,
That's
I
why,
knew
right?
why. It's just like I legitimately, like I don't know if you've ever been around an ostrich in real life, but it's terrifying.
Oh, they're big.
I
Yeah,
hate
they'll
them,
fuck you up.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I hate the way they look, dude. They are so threatening, you know?
Yeah.
Andy, are you aware that when they go to capture birds and to resuscitate them or rescue them, birds get super crazy, but then they put the little mask
chill
on them
out.
that blinds them out, and they just go chill.
Well, that's with
It's
a
a
lot of
trust mask.
animals. That's what they do.
Not
to
true. Try to put a bag on a
alligators.
cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't fucking
He'll
like
lose
that
his
shit.
shit.
That's what they do to alligators whenever they're going to like pounce on them and kind of like, you know, do the wrapping around their mouth. They cover their eyes first, and the alligator just sits there like, "Oh, cool, I'm safe."
Cool,
And
I'm safe, I can't see
And they
anything,
grab
I'm
their
good.
head and like wrap their mouth so they can't like open up and attack people and shit.
Wait a minute. What
Is
the
the
fuck's
wait? Go back
happening
to
here?
that. Is that a tiger riding
See?
a horse?
And this is where I wanted to go with this. Is Kevin and I have been trying really hard.
Oh my
for the
God, for
last
so
year
long.
To get Moose to
to
ride
get
Cecil.
Moose to ride Cecil,
I
and
knew
it's
it.
just it's not gonna happen, man.
Don't
But
say that.
We just
Why
gotta
would
get
you
some
say
type
that?
of share, some type of harness.
I already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a platform that will attach to Cecil's harness with Velcro.
It'll be great. Can you
It'll be
imagine?
so
it?
good.
Is
I
this
guess-
woman in
With
this
his mullet?
picture wearing riding gloves? Like, is that some sort of
Yeah,
car glove?
Wait,
she
what?
has to.
That tiger looked so photoshopped. It's also
so
hard to
I
tell
believe
when things are
this is-
photoshopped watching through Discord.
Yeah, it's tough.
I can't remember what this is called, but this
Why
is
are
a
the
lion
legs so tiny? Like
crossed with a tiger.
It's like a
Tygon.
corgi.
It's the opposite. Tygon.
Yeah, it's not the liger. It's whatever the other one is.
Yeah.
Ew, what is the one in the second row to the left?
Second row to the left. Second row.
I think that's a
I
stuffed
had some
animal.
Cajun
This?
blackened shrimp, and I am burping it, and it tastes good.
No.
Wait, what are you talking
I'm
about?
glad.
Second one to the left.
Andy, what are you gonna get for dinner? Are you on this
Wait, Kevin, why
stream
is
with us
this
tonight?
instruction so difficult?
Is it that one? Is that what you're talking about?
No, wait, what? Wait, to the left of that. To the left. The
You're
left
hovered
one.
over it. Down. that one.
Yeah. What the
No,
hell's
that's just
happening
that's
here?
like a painting or like a sculpture. That kid's just riding like a sculpture.
Got it.
That's a real tiger, though. That's a real ass tiger.
Can we become a monk and fucking ride a tiger? Is that a thing?
Fuck
Dude,
it.
if that
You can
is,
do
they should
anything.
put that on the brochure more because I feel like that would get more people to become monks, right?
Kevin, monks,
Monks
you would
brochure.
be the worst monk.
Hey,
Andy, that's very
Andy,
rude.
can I
That's
ask you why?
very
Can I
rude.
ask you why, Andy? Andy, is it because they're supposed to not? Is it because of the vow of silence? Is that why?
You're generalizing about monks, and that's very rude. Like, look at this one.
It's
He's all
true.
tatted
There's
up.
lots of different monks. That
He's
guy's
all
fucking
tatted up.
dope looking. Those tats are sick.
Yeah,
See,
that's
I'd get tattoos if I could get tattoos that like were dialed in like that. Those look cool. I'm sure they have very good like meaning to them, and I don't mean to be disrespecting, but those tattoos were cool.
Oh,
Does
don't
that guy
worry,
have
you
a
got
shirt off
nothing
on a
on
tiger?
Andy talking shit about all monks over here.
Go up a little bit. Is that guy shirtless on a tiger?
By you.
No, homie. Good. Yeah, right there.
Which
You're
one?
just
What
on
are you
it.
saying?
The guy that's shirtless on the tiger. What's he doing there?
That's Vladimir Putin. That's fake.
Oh, they just put Putin on the tiger.
Yeah,
That's
remember
Putin from the okay.
He did the horse picture.
Yeah,
From the horse
Shirtless.
photo. Sorry, podcast listeners. We've been looking at photos for the last 30 minutes.
man, it sucks that we don't have a president that could physically beat Vladimir Putin in a hand-to-hand combat. You guys ever think about that?
Vladimir Putin was in the
You guys ever think
KGB.
about that?
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of president or like any world leaders that have the know-how that
good
he
point.
might have.
Yeah, that's
He
a
also
good
just
point.
like still does judo competitions.
He's
for some
probably
reason.
listening right now too, so we should shut up. Like,
He's not, dude.
Fucking
He's got.
fight me, Putin. Come on.
He's
Oh,
for sure
no.
listening to like Joe Rogan's podcast. He's not listening. He's not wasting his time with our podcast. Joe Rogan has real people on.
that's true.
Bunch of fake.
You guys want to
people
take
over
one
here.
more question? Yeah, we're fake asses. Do you guys want to take one more question?
Yeah, some more questions. Yeah.
This is a fun. This is a fun one. This is a walk, but I think we have a fun time talking about this. Time travel hypothetical. Andy, it's time to talk about the Black Eyed Peas. You wake up to discover that, unbeknownst to you, you have time traveled to January 1st, 1930. You are still in San Francisco and wake up in era-appropriate clothing, but lack access to any modern technology or conveniences. However, in your pocket, you find $16, which is the equivalent to about $250 in today's money, and a cryptic letter with instructions on how to build a one-way time machine. The back of the letter states you have 10 years. I don't know why it's the back of the letter. It could just be the postscript and letter. It doesn't matter. Back of the letter, you turn it over. Says you have 10 years to the day before the time travel to the past is rendered permanent. What would you do initially? Would you attempt to build a time machine eventually? And if so, would you think, who do you think at Kind of Funny would get back to 2021 first? This comes from Kieran Smoke, AKA Convex.
I think the easiest thing to say is Kevin. Let's just get out of the way. He'd figure it out first. Like that's always the.
I mean,
Kevin
figure it
is the
out.
best
We've got
with figuring
guys.
things
We've
out.
got instructions.
Yeah, but the
Unless
things
it's
that I
like
don't.
plutonium on there, like everything's fine.
We're
Okay, but
figuring
here's
it
the
out,
thing
yeah.
I don't like about this. A very specific amount of money, right?
Yeah,
That's supposed to
$16.
last us for 10 years.
It's
No, it's-
So, like, I gotta go get a
$16 to
job.
buy a fucking hotel.
I
It's
gotta
a
get a
seed.
fucking
It's a
job.
start.
I gotta
It's a
survive.
Andy,
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
think that
start.
in any world $250 is implied to last for 10 years.
Yeah, but
I
like,
think that's just to
gotta,
give you your
like,
start,
first
yeah.
off, the time machine can wait. I gotta find a fucking job. I gotta find a wife and kids. You know,
Andy
Like,
goes to the newspaper. He's like, "What is the equivalent to Best Buy in 1930?"
Yeah.
What
Like,
can I
I
go
mean, like,
work at?
there's a lot of weird. Like, one of the things, the rule should be that you are the heir to whatever. You don't have to worry about your life because I'm already getting paranoid about the whole. I gotta survive.
Well,
part.
this is the meat of the question: is how long do you think it would take you? You only have 10 years. How long do you think it would take you to get?
with the clear instructions. I think I can figure that out.
You might
yeah,
have to buy
absolutely.
parts, though. You might have to buy parts.
Well, that's what the $16 for.
Am I gonna go bet this money to try to get more money? I don't like this question. I don't like.
You know
it.
what? I don't like it either. We're done with it. We're done with it.
For me, like there is a 99% chance I just stay in old times forever.
Not because you
Like-
want to, right?
I mean, well, I definitely wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
More
But
laziness.
come
I
on.
think.
It's kind of it's not even so much laziness as much as it's a like weighing my options of like, am I really gonna figure out this time machine
You're not
thing?
going to figure it
Or
out. Tim, you
it's
and I
more
are
of
just
a-
going to
you're-
take over the 30s.
You're gonna be a
That's
realist
my
about
thing.
it. You're gonna be
Yeah.
a realist about it.
I'll
That's
just be
where
like-
I'm at. Where it's like I would probably try my hardest the first time to do the time machine, and if it didn't work, I'd be like, well, I guess I'm just in 1930s with
well.
a lot of knowledge on what's going to happen in the future with the stock markets. And then I go, Kevin, I can't remember what happened
Yeah.
with the stock markets.
Let's
I'm
do
just
something
gonna
about this Hitler guy. Pretty
work a
soon,
normal
is what
job.
I would-
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I was about to say that, Andy. Like
I mean,
the
yeah,
30s
but-
is such a bad time that I would not like if I got sent back in time and I was like, what year is it? And someone said the 30s. I'm like, fuck. I don't like
sucks.
anything about this. Like this
Yeah.
is bad. This is gonna be real bad.
I'm gonna be
Whereas,
drafted
like,
into the war.
yeah, and like things are gonna be real racist. Like way more racist than they are now. Obviously, major problems now. But like I wouldn't be able to make a change then.
I mean, the 30s,
You know what I
you're still
mean?
dealing with segregation. You're still dealing with a
Oh,
lot of
absolutely. Yeah,
a
and
lot
it's
of
in San
different things.
Francisco
Great-
too. So
Great
it's like that's
Depression,
leading
too.
up to
the Great
all of
Depression
the
coming up. You know,
treatment
just
of Japanese people and stuff like that. There'd be a lot to go on there. Where I'm like, ugh.
But think about it
maybe
this
I
way.
would figure
Yeah,
out
that's
the
further
time.
out.
It was 1920, wasn't it?
this is
What?
1930, I believe.
The
I
Great
think it's
Depression was
30.
1920.
No,
right?
1929,
End of
1939.
Yeah. So the prohibition was the 20s, and then prohibition, I think, was one of the causes.
But like
of the Great
Tim,
Depression
wouldn't you
and the
be
stock
like
market
excited
crash.
to go see if you're like, first of all,
I
just
wrong on
how
that?
the whole area looks like, right?
I think.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
I mean,
you're
I'd love
wrong,
to
Nick.
visit.
Yeah.
Go check out the Richmond district, see if your old house has been built yet. You can
Yeah,
go to my
that'd be
house;
sick.
it was already built then. Yeah.
I'd go check out your house.
That's
yeah.
some
wild
pictures.
to think of. That's
Yeah,
so
right?
crazy, dude.
Yeah, this house is old as shit.
Take some
Boris is in the
pictures.
world somewhere.
You,
You
gonna
know
buy
Boris
a
is
camera
like-
with that?
11. You know Boris 11.
I don't know how old Boris is.
Sorry,
No, I do.
I misspoke. I think the Great Depression pulled us out of prohibition. That's what I think I meant, right, Kev? Prohibition
I don't know.
didn't contribute to the Great Depression. I think the Great Depression pulled us out of prohibition because everyone's like, we need money and people. It sucks. I could be wrong.
We're gonna do so bad on this SAT test, Nick.
No, Andy, we're gonna just, you know what we're gonna do, Andy? We're gonna do what I did when me and my buddy Adam Rich had to go run the mile for our presidential physical fitness thing. We just said no. And then he said, well, you have to run it. And we're like, we're in fucking street clothes. Like, I'm in marching band. I don't have sweatpants. The guy's like, fine, just go walk it. And we're like, deal. So we're gonna walk. We're gonna walk this
the marketing
SAT.
guy on the Great Depression. Because
What
I
do you
feel
mean?
like they deserve a raise.
Why?
it's
Because they
like
called it the Great Depression.
they
Catchy.
turned it into something way more positive sounding than it actually was.
Oh,
Wait,
dude, it was
you know what I
great.
mean?
That depression was so great. Yeah.
I think you guys are. It's the Big Depression, is why.
No,
Well,
Forget
I
it, yeah.
understand that, but like they didn't call it that. They called it the Great Depression, and great has connotations. Maybe they
Oh,
were
yeah.
different back in the 20s. I don't
This
know.
Well,
this
I like to think
depression
about it.
Sucks.
the shitty depression.
I think about it in terms of like how they used to describe Voldemort, right? When Dumbledore first described Voldemort, he was like he was capable of great things, great terrible things.
Yeah.
Mm,
And I was like,
Nick, I like that.
oh,
I like
very
that a lot.
cool.
So anyway, I'm
Dumbledore's a both sider. I don't know.
not getting out of the 30s. I'll just say that right now.
I think the only person getting out of 30s maybe Greg and maybe Kevin, but I think the
No,
rest of
you
us are gonna.
You guys are
Greg is fucked.
You guys
Greg
are
will just be an
misunderstanding.
old timey radio guy. I'll be
You
fine.
guys, the instructions are super easy. It's stuff that like basic stuff. It's not like it's trying to like you have to make this crazy. Like you'll be able to build
There's
whatever
got to
it
be
is.
some math involved, though.
No,
right?
no. That's the
A
instructions.
quadratic
I gotta assume that's
equation
part of the
It's
somewhere.
just like
Yeah.
buy this elbow thing and this gas and in a container shine light through it a certain way. And
No, already, I'm done. The shining light, because that makes me think of Iron Man when he has to turn the wrench and he's like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to turn the wrench, but then he finally turns the wrench and then he activates the chest
that's the
thing
thing.
and then he becomes Iron Man.
it isn't like a thing that you're trying to figure out. You have the instructions of how to do it.
Yeah, but I had instructions for that bookshelf behind me. It still took me 2 hours to put it together. All I do is slide them onto a pole.
God. All right. Well,
I built
never
this
mind then.
uplift desk. I could learn
Come
how
on,
to build
Kevin.
a time
This is,
machine.
you think about who you're talking to. When's the last time Tim, this is no disrespect because I'm just right there with you. When's the last time Tim put something together more complex than like plugging in a USB cord into something?
I just don't do it. I got
Exactly.
people
We
for
don't
that.
do it. We don't do
I've
it.
somehow surrounded myself with people that enjoy that. Between
It's
Kevin
weird.
and Gia loves building like furniture, and I'm just like, cool. Have
Never
at
let
it.
her go
Have
because
fun.
never let her go.
And then, of course, Kevin. And what I love about Kevin is it's not just he enjoys building things. He enjoys looking and being like, I think we could make this better. Would you like this to glow blue and have USB ports? I'm like, yes.
would like
Yes,
it.
I would,
Yes.
Kevin. Let's
Yes, I
do
would
it.
like that. I know. The other day I
Here's
was
the-
talking to
but
Kevin
here's the-
about.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Kev. No, go ahead.
No. Well, I was just gonna say, like, because I like the time travel question, and do you think there's any way if we all as a group went back in time, we could figure out a way to be super rich?
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
if nothing else, let's put it this way. If we went back in time, I think about this, right? What would we have to do? Well, we'd have to figure out how to get jobs because we'd have to get a little bit of capital, or we have to bring the cash with us from the future. We have to find those old bills, right? And then all you'd have to do is just invest a shitload of money in Apple. That's
yeah,
it.
but see, here's the
And
thing:
wait.
it's the 30s, and Apple won't be a success till
Well, yeah,
the
if we're
early
going
aughts?
back that far back, sure. So then you have to know, okay, what's the next industry war? We're heading toward the war, so just invest a lot of money in Boeing or whatever aerospace company there is, and you're just gonna make a shit ton of money. Like rivets.
see,
What do they need? Rivets. We need rivets. Just invest in rivets.
my strategy would be to not jump to the large thing. Like I like where your head's at, Nick, of like thinking about the war and like profiting off of that. But for me,
Yeah, let's
it'd
not.
be
We're
more,
not
let's be
to
war
be clear, I don't
profiteers.
want to be a war profiteer. I'm
for
just
me, it'd be
saying
more
this
about, like,
hypothetical.
is using the knowledge that I have,
Mm-hmm.
which is limited about many things, but it's like I do know a lot about some stuff, and it's like taking that knowledge to make a lot of money in small ways, like maybe not like crazy amounts of money, but it's just
Yeah.
like, I'm building a nice foundation, having a couple businesses that do different things to then eventually prepare myself for when the world is at a place that I'm a little bit more apt to use my actual technical knowledge. Because it's like, I'm not going to be the one to invent the iPhone. You know what I mean? Like, there's no world that that ends up happening.
That's
But
boring. Who wants to do that?
I do think I can align myself with the right people to be in the right place, so that at some point I'm a very powerful person in the world.
Take all the
making a lot of money.
Take all the patents and just Photoshop out like the Apple logos off of all of them, and just be like, look, check out these things I worked on.
And yet still Apple's lawyers figure it out and they sue you. And
Yeah.
you're like, how? I got there 20 years before you were even born. And they're like, we're Apple. We're better than you.
Kevin, you might be able to help out with this, because this is something that I was told one time in middle school from some science teacher. Maybe it was a chem teacher, and I totally forgot what it was. But that for so much of our past, we were basing our sort of science on the elements of like
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
We humans and humans and Earth. We are all made of Earth, Wind, Fire, Water. Blah 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 blah.
I mean, for like a long time ago.
Was it like Eric the Red or something like that, who was kind of misguidingly or incorrectly using this knowledge? And had we had switched to the other thing of like, oh, we're made of fucking atoms and shit like that, had we done that way earlier, we would have been so much more ahead in terms of like.
I don't think it was Eric the Red.
Yeah, I think science just progressed how it progressed, right?
Because the way that the teacher kind of worded it was that because we did this for so long and didn't find out the real way until now, or we knew the real way, but we did the other thing instead. And until we started doing it the real way, had we done the real way back then, we'd be like fucking living and having flying cars by now, because of all those hundreds of years lost due to using the wrong sort of science.
I don't think that's how it works. There's a bunch of science that was lost when Rome or the Roman Empire collapsed, and it was just because people were trying to survive, not like thrive.
There was that.
What about Atlantis?
True place, real place. You can still go there.
There's no evidence that we found at this point that says it's true.
There's probably people who
There
are
is
just real mad about the
one-
shit we're talking about.
One note.
Andy, they didn't make
from
it this far.
Plato's notes that like his uncle talked about it once or something. Some dude's.
I love the idea of
mentioned it.
Plato having all this like dope knowledge that he puts out there, but like just there's one lie, and he's just like, one day these motherfuckers are gonna think this is true.
I don't know. I just always conceptually love the idea of, damn, had we not listened to this motherfucker and had we listened to the other person, we would be living on Mars by now.
Yeah, I
because
mean,
we would
I
have
just
figured out
don't-
all the shit
Well, I mean,
like
that's-
hundreds of years before
I don't think it's that
we actually did.
simple. Yeah, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I do think that if we weren't constantly fighting, like, if the Romans weren't constantly fighting with everyone and causing their own destruction, yeah, like society would have advanced a lot further. And like this is like the first big stretch that we've had in a long time where the world isn't at war with like any of the big nations aren't like fucking destroying themselves. So like hopefully we keep this going, huh?
Yeah, it would be nice. I was going to say the other big barrier I think was language back in the day, because people just didn't understand how to communicate with each other. But now that we have the internet and we can share information that we're getting that exponential growth of technology. But when in doubt, just
by the way,
just blame it on the Italians.
Eric the Red was just a Viking. Had nothing to do with science.
Yeah.
It's weird bringing him in, but
it was one of those something the greats, one of them guys.
One of those dudes.
He might be thinking Alexander the Great, but
probably.
Yeah, because he took over like most of the known world, and then they made a movie with him and Colin Farrell.
A lot of people don't know the fourth word in his name though was depression.
It was a misnomer. He was very depressed after he took over the world. He was like, I don't know what to deal with him.
The last thing I want to say before we end.
As I'm saying.
Sure.
Before we end
it was the known world.
He took over all of Greece and a little bit of like Africa. You know what I mean? There's a lot more
Everything
world
else,
out there. Meanwhile,
birds.
China barely knows about him. They got their own giant empire going.
It's wild. Is that
Tim?
it?
You were going to say something, Tim?
Don't worry about it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the Kind of Funny podcast. Of course, we do this twice a week, once with just the core cast members here, like me, Andy. What's that other guy's name? Greg.
Greg took today off because he was just on a lot of stuff today.
No, Greg took today off because, again, Gia's going around with her box of snakes. She thinks it's hilarious. Keeps biting people right in the eyeball. Tim got bit twice. Man. Is crazy. And of course, we have some guests coming up, not the least of which is Justin Roiland. He's going to be awesome next week. And make sure you watch our Jack Quaid episode. He was a delight and just a really, really fun, cool human being to spend some time with. We're going to head into our post show right now. And if you're not listening to our post shows, they are great. You can get those over on patreon.com/kindoffunny by backing us. And until then, I love you.